Good evening, everyone. Welcome you all for this today's session. Today we will be learning about writing literature review article. Before going to the writing part, I'll just give a glimpse about what is literature review. Okay. Uh, in a simple terms, literature review is kind of doing a homework before starting a real research work. In this literature review, you will collect research articles, read research articles, you will understand their research work by reading, understanding the each and every content. Like you are uh, two things majorly you will look in the earlier literatures. First is till now what they have done, that you will be purely looking into it. Second is what is the methodology they have used to solve the problem, or to fill the research gap, what they have used, what methodology they have used. And this literature review mostly uh, like what various researchers they have tried different solutions, different equations they could have done, use different statistical analysis they could have did. So learn about the previous research work. Some research work worked better, some research article, I have seen some research article, they clearly mentioned the drawbacks, limitations, everything in their research articles. It is not a good results. The results are not excellent, but still they wrote clearly that because of what issues they are not able to get the exact results. So these are all will make you to learn as a researcher not only the findings which you expect the is coming, if it is not also uh, the similar mistake should not be done by other researchers in future. That is also a part of the researchers work, right? And some failures will be there as a researchers based on their research results and all, that also has to be checked properly. And uh, as they have completed certain task, so which is already done by them, and what else not done, what else not done. And mainly this literature review helps to understand the topic clearly, a big picture, an idea about the research area, research work, right? Then what others done, then helps you to find the research gap, what is missing, what is not solved, and what needs improvement. See, remember this well, what is missing, what is not solved, and what's need improvement, right? Then obviously when you read articles, multiple articles, different authors, different country, different facilities, different methodology, different outcomes, right? uh, the way you read multiple research methods and their outcomes, and some mistakes they could have done, and you will avoid certain mistakes. The learning part is very important, and what tools they used for any data analysis or data collections or any statistical analysis or numerical analysis, analytical work, experimental work, what equipment, what type of analysis, what softwares, every details will be available in the existing research work. So you'll be able to learn that, you'll be able to learn that. For example, you are from a nutrition discipline, for example. Obviously, you will be not using a software named ANSYS and Abacus because that is not related to you. That is related to another few disciplines. So, related to your discipline only, you are going to collect articles and you are going to read, you are going to understand, you are going to learn, not irrelevant discipline or irrelevant research works, right? And this literature review will help you to justify your unique objectives, that which is not done by other researchers. And always remember, good literature review will give you to uh, justify your objective in a very strong manner, that the problem you have selected is like correct. Why you choose this study, it's correct, right? And this literature will help you to create a good objectives for your research works. And obviously, as a researchers, all your research findings has to be written for communicating your research publications. So as you review good number of literatures, you will come to know how each and every researchers are writing in a very professional way in a reputed journals, right? That you will be learning. So not only the writing part, whatever they have done some research and they are writing, and some arguments, some inference, some like mm, the discussion part, the interpretations, all will be written by the can be written by the authors well. And rather than meeting some researchers, spending certain hours, because there will be huge number of researchers in your area, it will be difficult. But as a researchers, simple, you spend some time on their literatures which is published, then you learn more number of more knowledge about their research work. Within a very simple manner, literature review is like you are going to learn what others did and what they did not, and what you should next, and what they have not done till now. Some reasons will be there. Some reasons will be there. These are the various reasons. And one more thing, during my literature review days, as well as during my postdoc time, even I remember initially I started reading few literatures in IIT Delhi Meta Lab. So one article, a professor from UK, I'm not able to get because very few article is available with him, and I just read some content. But as my mentor said to do certain task, I'm not able to complete that perfectly like 100%. So I'm just searching multiple literature, reading, it's going on. At one point of time, I just thought, why can't we read the full thesis of these authors? When I started searching, I found this person's thesis. Currently, he's a professor, a lecturer in some University of Glasgow or some institute. But that thesis, some 250 pages thesis, helped me to understand the content much better than reading the 15-page research article. 15-page research article. So what I want to convey is, this is the current generation where most of the researchers, they upload the 20 pages to some AI tool and get the summary of 10 points, and they think they read the entire article. You are given enough time to read articles. Enough time were given to read and understand the limitations, findings of each and every articles. But for preparing the presentation alone, you will have what is their objective, what is their methodology, what is their concluding remarks or some results. Some researchers are uploading some AI tools and getting the outcome, and they're just preparing a PPT, done. That's all. See, that is not the literature review as many researchers think. Line by line, I have seen one of my roommate, currently he's at the end of his PhD program. Uh, Line by line, he read the article, and sometimes if there is any equations, some authors wrote an equations, he take that equations, he write a program in Python, and he check whether his results and the results in the article both are same or not same. So these are all study the researchers were did, not a scientific work. It's by going through the literatures, by going through the literature. For example, you are having an equations and you are having a graph. For you, you could have done some unethical practices and you made some graphs. But there are researchers, reviewers, they go through your equations and plot the graph and say that this is not a real one, you have manipulated the research. There are good researchers who review and pick such findings even. Okay. So as a researcher, it is very important to review the existing article scientifically. That's very important. Scientifically is very important. And when you're not able to get certain articles or certain contents, preferably go through the thesis of those authors, you collect it, and then obviously you'll be learn much better than the uh, research article. Research article, many some researchers they convey it very clearly in detail, depth and all. Some researchers to their level they just think, write, plot it, and they submit. That's all. Obviously, the article may get published and all, but really it is helpful to certain researchers or not. That is a question one. So just a simple glimpse which I said about the literature review. Hope you understand. It's a purely based on the existing research work, and sometimes you will be learning like what methodology is the best. You read 30 articles. 30 articles they for doing a numerical simulation. At least some 20-25 articles use different simulation software. So you make a count and find that who used so many thing and why they have used, why not they have used the other one. So these are all, as a researchers you get all these uh, like content. You can do a research on all these fields. Okay, hope you get a simple idea about this literature review, right? Oh, one second. When I prepared this presentations quite long back, started searching how researchers are defining this literature review. So many research experts or so many researchers defined about literature review in a different perspective. Uh, According to Creswell in the year 2005, a written summary of article from journals, books, and other documents dis- describe the past and current state. In every research article, the past will be explained in the introduction part. The current state will be explained in the body of the research article. And organize the literature into topics and documents which need for the study. And literature review is a systematic method for identifying, evaluating, and interpret the research work produced by various researchers. And this literature review will help to create a knowledge developing network in your research area. Four reasons majorly we do literature review. First is to focus on the previous research and to like make how the study fills the gap. You are planning to do a study. If it is already done and that gap is filled, then you don't know to study the research work again. For example, already Zomato, Swiggy, and certain things were started and fine. Don't start the same thing again, right? Something innovative, something different. And the necessity and rationality of your study, whether your research work makes sense and why it is important and how it's novel, whether it is justiciable or not, right? Then try to see the boundaries of your study because uh, det- uh, like the scope and specific objectives, because some researchers when you are going through the literature review in the initial days, they have a lot of idea whichever or lot of research work which is not yet done or covered. But when some young researchers when they go through these options, they try to do all during their PhD task. if you see the initial meeting, they will have 6, 7 objectives. But finally, some authors I have seen in earlier meetings, but in synopsis meeting, if you see, there are some researchers. The research work will not be related to their title, will not be related to their other parts of research work. Then later they try to change the title, change the certain contents. So you have a limited time. You are there to learn about research and to find a uh, unique findings. So don't be like very broad and all, more specific, objective, and try to solve it. Go as deeper as possible. Some of the other reasons for literature review: what needs to be done, synthesizing and gaining new perspective, identifying the relationship between ideas and practice, and different thing, right? This literature review obviously will change your mind, with which you make like your way of thinking will be different. And this literature review helpful to improve your research skill, to find various source materials, also to avoid duplication work. There are three types of literature: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary is research article from journals and dissertation and conference proceedings. Secondary is review article, meta-analysis, monographs and all. Tertiary literature is textbooks, encyclopedia and other things. The first and foremost as a researcher is you need to search and finding good literatures. Fix your topic perfectly. Filter by language or which place preferably. If you don't prefer, then it is fine. Then date range, then type of publications, then geographic region, and whether it is downloadable or not downloadable, then the author's nationals. Every small, it maybe looks like small details, but all these details are very important. And search with proper keywords. That is also very important. And start with recent published article and then go back. Start with recent published article, then go back. Okay. And do the same search process in various publication and various indexing source, and check whether you have more literature for your study or change the topic. Normally, as a researchers, uh, like your limited objectives will help you to complete your research work as early as possible. Then more number of objectives and all, right? And when you read the literatures, keep your mind open. When you read every articles, you will find the strength and weakness of each and every article. Some article they have a good strength related to their specializations. Some article may not be to that level, right? So when you read multiple literatures, you will understand that better. And always, as a researcher, try to choose a base paper. That is the uh, uh, base article, in the sense you select and keep it with you, which article is very close related to your research work, and the unique findings, concepts of article related to the topic, everything has to be uh, read properly. And when you read, you will find the difference between the articles. Like the difference between the articles, you will find point by point in a different perspective, right? And you can see the notes of each article book, ensure all details in it, not go through again. As a researcher, the first 1.5 years you have given time to do the coursework and set another task, but try to do it effectively. Try to do it effectively. So before going to the topic, so we are going to learn how to write literature review article. If you want, you can make a notes, please. If you have any pen, pencil, and all, it's a very simple, easy step. But try to work it out for 1, 2 times. Then it is very simple and easy. Please wait. A literature review can be written in two ways. One is chronological, another one is thematic. What is this chronological aspects? From 20, 30 years before, this is how we used to communicate, right? If you ask your parents, they may be using the one or they could have seen those things. But now, totally changed. Many of them, they are having two phones, three phones, different variety phones with folding different ways, right? Based on the years, the technology, people having heart attack, I think they used to keep stent or something, a small one. And recently I saw a LinkedIn video where uh, in the size of rice, a small rice is there, right? The size of rice, they made the stent with a small battery and so many things. So 20 years before how it is, and after 20 years how it is. So the advancement in technology based on that, if you are writing, it is considered as a chronological way of writing your literatures. This is also easy, but more than this, the thematic way of writing the literature review is easy. What is thematic? I have a mobile phone. That mobile phone consists of multiple parts, or we call as a theme: motherboard, charging, SD card, fingerprint, battery, touchscreen, speakers, button. Okay. Now, you are going to do research on speaker. Then go depth in the speaker. What are the other parts in the speaker? Speaker as a magnets, magnetic flux density, magnetic field intensity, magnetic other magnetic force, ferrite magnet or neodymium magnets, right? The see all about when you go depth about the speakers with the magnets and all, that's another. So again, if you go depth with only neodymium magnet, there you go as depth and depth, you will get multiple things. Okay, that's how the thematic research work. And as a thematic, if you make a proper theme related to the work, your work is very simple. You need to collect articles for each and every theme from your collected literatures. That's all. Some article is not related to closely with multiple things. Better you put those things in the introduction part. Okay, thematic aspect is a little better. The first step is Google Scholar. You can search it, find it articles, or via Scopus of Science, mainly cross of metadata and other source. The initial step is to screen literatures. Please wait. Sorry. See, while screening the literatures, the first option is search relevant titles. When you search in Google or any source, the research work should be closely related to your title of literature review which you are planning to do. And read the titles. Don't just randomly collect first 100, first 150, first 200. Not like that. You read the title. If possible, you read the uh, uh, abstract also. And if it is relevant to your research work, then you can then you can mm, use it for your research, for your literature review purpose. Check the years. Don't use the last 4 years, 5 years. Don't use it. And copy references in text with APA format. From here, the step starts. Okay, the first important step is you just need to open a Word file and copy the reference or the citation part in a Word file, minimum 120 to 250. I have seen some literature review articles in 120, 150 something, but that's a very minimum. Okay. And preferably when you sort it with equation like years, last 3 years is better. In case some research topic, if you not get enough number of articles, then go for last 5 years. Don't go more like beyond that. So copy it in a text file, only the reference alone. So first is scoping, which is searching and finding articles. So mainly cross-ref metadata. Cross-ref metadata is a website which provide DOI number, digital object identifier number. So it's a which most of the quality journals research article has the DOI number. So they has the DOI content. So think you are searching in Google Scholar and you're putting a proper keywords. Just an example only. Uh, you will go through the concepts, but uh, based on your preferable website, may not be Google Scholar. You may be exploring in Mendeley or Scopus or any other website. That depends on you. Okay. So I'm just showing a screenshot where I just put a keyword in Google Scholar and I'm finding it. And some article which is related, I just clicking the cite option in Google Scholar. When I click the cite option, I get all the five referencing style APA, MLA, Chicago, and Harvard. So I just click the APA file and I paste it in a Word file. So while you are pasting, just uh, add it with numbers. While you are pasting, you add it with numbers. So till now everybody is clear. Till now everybody understand. Like very simple only. Any doubts in this as of now? Okay, how can we get the whole dissertation or thesis? See, if you put those names, see, because when you are, I have not searched the thesis immediately. Actually, it's during my postdoc time, I find a thesis of a PhD student, and that time itself he is a lecturer in some UK institute. I just in the research article, two names were there: the student name as well as the supervisor name. I just put this both names and comma thesis, so that obviously in both names you will find only one thesis, right? So that is how I have collected their thesis. And then 15-page article, reading 150, 200-page thesis, you will understand more things about, because from that only I find certain equations. With that equations, I made certain calculations and I did lot of study during my postdoc time. Okay. So similarly, how in a Word file, now here I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is there. Somewhere you should download or you keep it reference of 120 is a very minimum, like 150 to 250 minimum for literature review. But if you are writing for a conference and all, minimum if 150 article is there, it is fine. Okay, for a conference alone. The next step is to download all these article. If you have 150 article, 120 you can able to download easily. Remaining 30 will take some time to download. You have to mail them. You ask you like I'm a student doing research on this area, so can you please share this PDF of this research article? Sometimes if one author has 5 article, send a single mail to this author, immediately they are going to send to you one thing. Sometimes if this article will be available in ResearchGate, you can send a request in ResearchGate. That is an option. Or using SciHub, ResearchGate, LibGen. India, if it is not working, you send to your friends from Malaysia, Singapore, or other countries nearby, and they are going to send to you this content. Or some, if you have any friends from some top institutes like IIT and IITs, or if you are attending multiple FDP seminar, webinar in some groups, you upload there, they are going to help you. And all articles must be in a single folder. All articles must be in a single. I'll show you one sample. So all articles in a single folder, right? With numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hope you understand till now, right? Download this, all PDF will be available in a single folder. Now the next step is you have a Word file with only reference. Below each reference, you copy and paste the abstract and conclusion. You copy and paste the abstract and conclusion of the research article. This is the sample. Reference, abstract and conclusion. Reference, abstract and conclusion. Similarly, you have to do for 250 or 150, how much number of articles you have. Now, this is the important part. Now, you have 250 abstract and conclusion, 250 reference. Okay. Now, you read each and every abstract conclusion at least 3 times. 3 times everybody will eat, right? Hopefully. 3 times you just read. The problem is many researcher is not reading, right? Everywhere now, if you open your mail, there is a summary. Everywhere you are eagerly waiting for the summary. Read. Actually, if you are researchers in the first year of your PhD program, these all articles, if you are uh, reading the entire work, or some articles, half of the work will be related to your work. If you are reading the half content, that you will be benefited if you are reading the entire content. Because many times when I share this content, many researchers, sir, only abstract and conclusion is enough. Not enough. If you are a researcher, you are the initial stage of your research, you need to learn, read good number of literatures from starting till the end without, don't understand and mug up or something the references. Till conclusion, you have to explore many research articles. As you have time, from each and every articles, you read it, then write about that research work. Write about the research work. Now, if you are in third year or you are an expert, you have done your research work for so many years. Now, by going through the abstract and conclusion, you'll be able to understand what they have done. Because as we know in the earlier session, abstract that consists of the background work, the objective, the methodology, the findings, the concluding remarks. So it's very clear that, and conclusion will be in detail in the conclusion sections. In a very crispy way about the research article, you will be learning in the abstract and conclusions, right? And I am for example, related to my discipline, as I am parallelly reviewing multiple articles, so immediately we can make a guess that what they have done. Okay. But if you're the initial days, sometimes your master's, bachelor's project will be different, and PhD research work will be totally different. So you cannot make any guesses by just seeing the title and the abstracts. So Initial days you need to explore full article line by line, that will be better. But if you are an expert on that area or several years you are working on that area, then preferably after and conclusion just copy and paste it. This Excel sheets, normally we call that as uh, there's a specific name, literature matrix. This Excel, this template also you can use, or I'm just sharing an literature review matrix once again. See, this is a simple Excel sheet. This consists of the serial number, title, author, year, journal, keyword, country, research, material, basic information about the research work, type of investigation, whether analytical, what type the research work is, what is an objective of the study, what is the methodology, what is the main findings, right? So what is the future work they have mentioned in the article, what is the research gap, so URL of the work, theme, sub themes. So we are writing a literature review on thematic aspects, right? So how many themes you have? For example, if you take mobile, you have 6 to 8 themes like touch screen, fingerprint, motherboard, so many things. So you have how many articles? 120. When you do for this 120 articles, you have to separate the articles based on the themes. Based on the themes. Some themes will have sub theme, like mobile phone is a very broad theme. Mobile phone has a speaker is a theme, normally speaker is a theme, and speaker will have a sub theme, like sub theme in the sense mm, speaker speaker magnets or magnetic flux density, magnetic field intensity, something like that, right? So then any figures if you like to incorporate, you can incorporate. And these sections I will tell a little bit later, because this will help you to create few images or create few tables in your research articles. So this part is very important to separate the 250 works into multiple themes. You have a 250 article related to mobile phone. Now it's your task to separate. Related to speaker, you will have 23 articles. Related to motherboard, you will have 25 articles. Like that, you have to separate these articles to multiple. While you are separating the articles, some articles will be little bit old sometimes. Okay, old. So then older articles better try to add in the introduction section, because introduction 25 to 30 article is there, more than enough. Try to have the introduction in the some older articles. Introduction also should be in a separate paragraph. Separate paragraph. For example, I just open a Word file and I'll just type and let you know. So introduction, randomly, if you are planning to have some 30 articles in the introduction. Okay. First you tell about the background work. Background work. Like how important this now in this mobile phone, I'm just sharing a sample. Which part is very important? Based on that, you start doing a literature review, like about A maybe. Some about each article you can have 2 3 sentences. Okay, 2 to 3 sentences, and that getting over. Try to have some 5 to 6 articles in each. So if some 5 article or 6 articles, then that is done. The next B, another one. Now these all how you will pick this article is earlier while you are doing the literature review matrix itself, you just find some article which is very old. You make a note that these articles are for introduction part of your research, introduction part of your literature article. You need to make a note, first thing. Second most important thing is, the last, these are all quite common one. The last, when you are making a theme, right? In the theme, based on theme, you have to uh, sort it. There is an option called sort option, right? SORT option in Excel. Based on that, you can sort it later. Sort it later. When you sort it later, you will have random numbers. For example, you have 250, right? In this Excel, for example, a simple example I'm just telling. You have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And just like later we can remove the heading. For example, here I'm just putting A, then B, then C, D, R. Right? I'm just removing the this starting part. Normally the expanding option will be there. Okay, I think it's in order only. When you are expanded properly, this actually we have made it in order. Normally, if it is in E, F, some different name, here the number will be not in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be in 23, 20, 34, 45. Some number will be irregular, which means based on the theme, the articles will be in order. Based on the theme, the articles will be in order. Now, here the articles in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is in order. Now, later stage, after the 2, 3 sentences in each and every reference is completed, then it's a task you to merge based on the theme, merge the article based on the theme. For example, the theme is speaker. For example, speaker, you have few articles. If you have 20 articles in speaker, you have 5 articles, some important articles, you keep it. Then you have remaining articles, right? There you try to have some sub theme. Speaker can have neodymium magnet, ferrite magnet. So whatever articles related to neodymium magnet, you keep it in a next heading, next content. Whatever articles in ferrite magnet, you just keep it. Simple example, we are looking multiple option examples related to air quality, COVID-19 lockdown, right? So you are going to write a literature article related to that. If you want to do a study about this lockdown, uh, in overall, like whole world, we had that issue, right? So it depends on different country, you can make a theme, or air quality index in different cities in India, how it behaves, right? And these are all, as an author, you have to create certain themes based on the earlier literatures. You can create it. There are options how to create multiple themes, that I will say in future sessions. Okay. Now, what I used to do is, from each and every article, I just pick one images. Later, if 250 images will be difficult as an author. So for example, speaker, you have 25 articles. In that 25 articles, just explore and try to take some 5 images closely related to that work. Okay. Then you prepare a good borders, kind of A, B, to make the authors to understand about that work better. Okay. You don't worry about the citation and all, because it is not, these images are not belongs to you. You are going to acknowledge that it belongs to somebody. Now, see, till here it will be in order, right? Now, when it comes here, we have to start rephrasing and you have to start shuffling it. Shuffling it is based on the shuffling or like merging based on the theme, based on the theme. Now, while you are writing these two, three sentences about each and every authors, sometimes, sometimes you need these types of reporting verbs. When you talk about any researchers, their contradictory content, their proposed work, their suggestions, their rejections, their findings, their examining details, any dispute is there. So emphasizing their task, right? These are all has to be reported properly. And reporting words also can be used: discussed, conducted, examined, investigated, carried out, developed, viewed, concluded, suggested, right? These kind of reporting words also can be used. So it's not a very difficult reporting words. You just pick one, two literature review article related to your discipline. You will find minimum 10 to 15 reporting words in single article. So you go through some five literature review article, not research article, five literature review article. You will get somewhere around 50 plus reporting words where your experts are using these words. So you can also try use these words to connect between the sentences. Okay. The most important checklist here is try to choose the right topic for your research work. Some trending, the recent work, not some very old work. And check the literatures, whatever you have chosen. All the bibliographic content should be perfectly available. Title, author's name, volume number, issue number, page number, DOI number. Information should be clearly available. If the article is from a reputed journal, you will have a clear informations. And take notes while reading, because in future you may not get enough time, and that the important points and everything try to uh, read and understand. I know many professors how which these content were prepared during COVID time. Some institute in Chennai, around a year, the even civil engineering labs were used for COVID patients, but the institute want the faculty to publish multiple articles. But without labs, how the researchers can do research? It is difficult for certain disciplines. By using this source, many researchers published multiple literature review articles. We have given a lot of trainings during those days using this method. Okay, simple method. But if you have a team, you have a 2 3 members team, like 3 4 faculties together, if you are working, this 250 articles you separate to 70 70 70 70, then one person can merge this whole work and it is done. Very simple. 70 articles you daily, around 10 articles you are just reading while you are traveling. You make 2 3 sentences. Try to write on your own initially. Don't initially itself upload and ask the AI tool, and don't rephrase that content and all. Okay. And I think there are some AI humanizing tool, like some tools I have here recently that is quite popular other than this Quillbot and other tools. Some researchers are using those content. Okay, that depends. But the meaning which you like to convey in your article, that should be there, not that AI or other stuff, because that may not be your reflection or your ideas. Okay. Then decide the format of your review. Some journals will have a uh, uh, even small format changes. I have seen some literatures related to life science, social science. They share all small information: how they search, which keywords they have used, how they collected, and from that collected article, how they sorting out. It will be in the flowchart manner. Some, if you see some engineering and other journals, you cannot find those things. Also, some journals they focus on this thematic aspect. Some journals focus on chronological approach. Chronological approach, the article is very easy. Can anyone say why this chronological way of article literature review is very easy? Any guess? Fast. Why chronological approach of article is very easy if you are writing, if you are writing? No, others, any other? Just make your guess like. Just a sample here. Why the chronological way of writing literature article is very easy. See here, this is a literature review article. They have published in the year 2019. Okay, one second. They have published in the year 2019. Mm, okay, they have published in the year 2019. Okay. Think we are in 2029. We are in 2029. For example, we are in 2025. Think we are in 2029. Now, can I write a literature article from 2019 to 2029? Can I write or not? Because they have wrote for 2009 to 2019. 2009 to 2019, this article is available. But can I write for 2019 to 2029? Yes or no? Yes, I can write. If I am writing, will this article, if I am referring, if I am referring properly, I can write this, write the article and publish in this same journal also. It is very, very easy. If you go through this entire content, if you go to the tables, see this is a table. See article from very old till 2012 and very older contents are there. If you go through this article reference, it is not after 2019. From 2019 to 2029, whatever articles related to this, you can see multiple headings. Based on these headings, try to collect literatures, and that literature is enough for you to uh, prepare this literature review article. I think they have taken a huge number of articles, and it is easy only how they have collected. All small information will be there from PubMed, how they collected, how, each steps will be mentioned. You can see here. This is a sample I'm just telling why this. Okay. All these write-ups are, you can see here once again. If the study start 1992, it is maximum till 2006. But you are going to study from 2019 to, you can see here from study. Summary of included studies evaluation long-term implant survival. You can see the article 2005, 2010, 2012, right? 2000. You can see the first column. Now, if you are writing a literature article on the same topic, your year will be 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025 until 2029. So these results will be same or different. The other column results will be obviously not same. It will be different. So hope you understand, right? You are not comparing the earlier 10 years and current 10 years. They have studied for the earlier 10 years. They have reviewed for 10 years about certain topic. You are going to review for the next 10 years. Rather than taking a new topic and you are finding difficulty to which heading can be, which table I can make it. If you have any conclusion or something else, already for 10 years a person did a review work and he created similar different tables. So the tables heading may be same, but inside the year, the publication, authors, the results, participants, data will be different. That is for 2019 to 2029, but the earlier article will be having from 2009 to 2019. Obviously, the discussion results, everything will be different, not the same. But you will have an idea by exploring this 10 years article what you can write based on the advancement in the technology. That's the chronological part. But thematic part is purely on section wise, based on the theme, that as a sub theme. Based on that, you need to sort it out the articles and you have to write it. 2 to 3 sentences for each article if you are writing. Then based on the headings, for example, there is a heading called speaker that contains or consists of article number 11, 15, 17, 27, 48, 79, 102, 111. So the numbers will be different. If you go to another headings, the articles will be in different. And when you are adding it in a different headings, most important thing is uh, you try to give a read. If there is any missing or while you are the connection between the sentence is not good, then you like change the content, like what should be in the first, what should be in the next. That you can slightly manage it. Then keep the focus specific and interest general. See, make sure your articles for broader audience or for a specific audience. That's very important. And analyze critically, don't summarize. Don't say that they have did this, that's all. Sometimes you find their methodology and they have did a conclusion, it's fine. But if you think rather than using that methodology, if they could have did another methodology, that may be better. So you have a suggestions, you try to report it. You try to report it. See, if you have time, you can slowly, you can do it and report it. But if you don't have enough time, I have seen many researchers just convey what uh, their findings, what their research says. They just convey those as a summary only. Okay. Then get the structure. Sometimes you have a flow chart of your ideas, where to start, where to end, in between what are the content. Make your structures proper, then you okay, because the readers will go through those only. For example, you have a uh, do a research on this air pollution. So you have to start from when it is starting this COVID. Because of COVID, you had a lockdown. Because of lockdown, the air pollution is getting reduced. So in air pollution, air quality index. So it should be in a flow. The content should be in the flow. Initially, not air pollution, and last you should not tell about COVID-19. Okay, that's very important. The structure of writing the content. Rely on the feedback. If your literature review, first article, first time when you use this method, try to get suggestion from your friends, colleagues, get some suggestions. Next, obviously, you can write. Using this format, I still remember I wrote an article it in a week, in just 7 days. It is possible if you are, but first time it will take little bit time, but next time you can complete it very quick. Two ways you need to decide whether. That is the reason I said in the earlier sessions. You read, you are reading only abstract and conclusions. That is the reason you are able to complete it fast. But you have time, you spend a lot of time to read the entire article and write 2 to 3 sentences. That depends on each and every authors. As I said in the earlier sessions, I met a scholar in Coimbatore. Without knowing anything in the article, the scholar published an article, a literature article is published without knowing anything through AI and AI humanizing and other stuff. It depends on the authors. If you want to learn, gain knowledge about your research work, you need to spend time, you need to be an expert in that field. Then read, understand, learn more content on the topic. Okay, that depends because I can say anything, but who is following, that depends on whoever is listening and following it. What is the difference between the conventional research title and this title? Can anyone respond in the chat box? What is the difference between the conventional title and this title? The title is not same as the research article title. Why the literature review article title is differ from review article? So for your technical papers, will you use the term state of art? Anyone? Some institute laboratories advertisements you can see state of art laboratories. What does that state of art mean? Like the newest study or the very latest informations or latest study, right? Uh, as that content is mentioned, you should prefer article having in your literatures very recent last 3 to 5 years. Sometimes some important articles you can have it very closely. And sometimes if you like to collect literature review article, you will also put the term called state of art, comma, lockdown, air pollution and certain keywords. In simple understanding, the state of art word mean like uh, the most updated, recent one, advanced, or the current knowledge available on this topic. That's how the meaning is. So that is the reason in technical paper we will not add certain words. Abstract. Writing abstract for literature review is slightly different than conventional abstracts. because conventional abstract will be in a flow like here, based on the thematic headings, in each and every heading, that details must be there in the abstract. Each and every theme, how you separate the theme, then all the themes details must be inside the abstract. So that whoever read the abstract, they comes to know that, okay, if they go to your article, they'll be learning about the latest thing in your abstract. Obviously, like conventional abstract, initially the background work only. Objective is that you are going to review on so and so, but the methodology is all these themes should be clearly mentioned. And you can see the second article. Finally, the review ends with the design advancement issues. Any suggestions? The advancement. You can make a guess. After 10 years, what can be? Based on the literature review which you have did. What you feel you try to add in the article. Because literature review is one, you can clearly share your thoughts, views and everything. Here you can see some of the tables. These tables can be created easily using the literature review matrix. If you see the literature review matrix, last few columns are there, right? That columns are like similar columns, you can create it at last. When you go through each and every article, based on their applications, you just mention their reference alone. So that you can create a simple table easily in your article, which make the young researchers to understand the table better, table contents better. And this is another table, application references. For example, I am looking for civil and structural application, that is in the third row. So I can go through those articles. I don't want the social application helicopter, like that is not my business. So these kind of table is helpful to researchers. So this is the device has a different models, different equations. I have to go to multiple 5 articles to explore these 5 equations. Now, if I going to do a comparative study between these 5 equations, as of now, this is very simple. You upload this 5 equation in a MATLAB. So you ask to create a MATLAB code and a comparative study. This is an input. You need to plot a graph and all. It will create and it will provide you in 5-10 minutes. That's all. You can just check in MATLAB live and you can change it. But earlier days, you have to open each and every articles and you have to create these, check these equations and model. These are all reporting words will be available inside the body of your research article, like Nissan developed, investigated, invented, proposed, designed, right? Try to have good reporting words to connect between these sentences. And these are all graphs, simple pie charts. Simple charts can be created by, for example, you can see the figure 2, 94%, 6%. 94% ambient temperature, 6% elevated temperature. Think you are having 100 articles. 94 articles, they are doing research only on ambient temperature. Only 6 articles doing research on elevated temperature. You make a column, all 96, you just make 1, some numbers. Whatever, wherever elevated they have studied, like make a marking like 2 or some other numbers. So now easily you will be able to understand that how many articles did ambient temperature, that is 94, and how many elevated temperature is 6. So with that you can make it out. So that it is helpful for the researchers to think that why no researcher is not studying elevated temperature, why most of the researchers are studying ambient temperature. So it will make them also to think in a different perspective, or in a combination or a comparative study they can work it. So it's like as an author you can create it. So these kind of tables, graphs will be already available in the existing or previous literature review article. It's you have to explore it, and you have in a literature review matrix you create a separate columns and put all this information. Finally you can create good tables and graphs. These are all simple graphs. Conclusion, most important, about each and every theme, at least 1 or 2 points you must write. At least 1 or 2 points. Initially, it start from like very basic, like what are all your discussion is. Based on the discussion, what is the conclusion you are drawn. But the conclusion should be not the results of the existing authors. What you feel And some authors specifically, they could have mentioned some innovative thing that will be the future. If you guess that, you can mention clearly based on the earlier literatures, and clearly convey on each and every. If you have 8 themes, at least try to have 8 points about those outcomes, or their findings, or their concluding remarks. Most importantly, as a literature article, whenever you write, you take any image, any content, any table, not an issue, but always give credit to the existing authors who created that content. As I said in the earlier sessions, the creator must get the credit. The creator must get the credit. Thank you. If we have many references to one applications, should we mention the all? See, not all. It's not, see, think you are a researcher in the first year, you don't know anything about certain things. If you find some information, some article like this, it will be helpful or not if you make such tables. That is the purpose we are having that table. What methodological bias consistently appears across previous research? See, anyway, every articles will have certain strength and weakness. When you explore 50, 100 articles, methodologies, it will be not the same. It will be different. Some small changes, at least the place, the locations, their findings, their analysis, their softwares, lot of changes will be there. The results, based on that, obviously the results also will be different. Mostly it will be not same. But if same softwares, similar analysis, if any two authors were did similar studies, you write about them in a single sentences and cite both articles as a same. Nothing wrong in that. See, latest, last 3 years, last 5 years. If you go for chronological aspects, last 10 years, last 15 years, based on that. If you review any methodological discussion approach, study in, see, preferable is, I will suggest thematic aspects. Chronological aspects, I have gone through some literatures, mostly this life science, social science researchers about the behavior, because 10 years before, for example, like 2K kids, the behavior will be different. The Gen Z's behavior is totally different. I have seen some posts in LinkedIn, and so they directly say that I'm going for a vacation or somewhere else, so I'm taking leave today. But if you see 20 years before, to tell to an HR or to some higher ups, you will think what to say, grandmother passed away, so many stories he used to tell, right? The behavior is getting changed, right? So that 10 years studies. So in that case, you can go for the chronological aspects. And some I've seen one literature related to the CCTV. If you see 10 years, 20 years before, the CCTVs will be very less. But nowadays, it is more, and that safety concerns. So that depends on certain topics. Preferable is chronological. Some topic like some engineering, certain disciplines, more thematic, theme-based research work. Preferable is thematic-based work. What critical gap does the existing literature fail to address? See, uh, literature review here, you can address whatever is what gap does not exist, or uh, if they have failed to address those issues in their research article, you can add it. Nothing wrong in that. Even you think some what can be the future work or some limitations you find, you can convey that clearly in the article. Nothing wrong in that. You can do it. See, when the article is published, these authors will explore your literature review article and see that what you have written about them. If some unique novel information you written about them, obviously a connections between you and that authors will, obviously, it is easy to connect. We have a certain topics thesis related. We will be learning about that in upcoming sessions. See, book chapters are like, see, I'm providing a book title like NEP 2020. So related to NEP 2020, if I'm asking everybody, you are submitting some 10 pages of research article. This article to add in my book, I am adding as a chapters. First chapter, second chapter, third chapter, fourth chapter. Based on your content, I'm just adding. Finally, I'm submitting to a publisher. They're publishing it. That is the book chapters. It's an article only. It's an article, but in a whole book, it is added as a single chapters. Okay, but review article is different. Review article, research article is when you submit your article to a journal, and through journal it is getting published. We call as the research article, or there are some journals specifically for only for review articles. There are earlier few journals are there for only for review articles, but now I don't think find much journals only for reviews. Research paper and research articles are same process, same. It's like communication terms. Hey, how many research paper you have, much like that we convey, right? So that way they are talking about this paper. How many paper you have, something communication they are using as a word paper, and some journal also having these terms, but professionally research article or technical paper, one side, and another side is review article, research article, review article. Even when you submit to some journals, you will find research article only, research article, short communication, research letters, editor thing, some kind of options. We have a specific sessions for this thesis writing and all. There you will come to know about searching, finding thesis and all, where to search, how to search. That is a separate session. Any other queries?